of a car. It's really important that you assess where you are in terms of your learning process, meaning are you 15 or 16? If you're 15 or 16, you can enroll in a state certified driver's education program. Typically, you're going to get between 6 to 8 lessons with a certified driving instructor, and that's what I am. Or a lot of people wait until they're 18. This is because of post COVID. If you wait till you're 18, you won't have the classroom behind the wheel instruction and you won't have the lessons for the knowledge test, but you'll be able to go to the DMV and get your TIP. A TIP is a temporary instruction permit. And in that temporary instruction permit, you're going to be able to drive with an adult who is over 21. This could be your uncle, this could be someone. How do you know if you passed the test? They will tell you at the DMV once you take the test. There are up to 10 different versions of the test. I know a little background information. So every test is different. I believe there are about 24 questions. So you pay your fee. I think it's $3. No, I think it's $18 or $24. You go in there and take your test. There's a study guide. Then after you take your test, you pass. Then you can drive with someone 21 or over for 30 days. Then you want to work on your turns. Should be able to turn hand over hand into the turn, and you should be able to turn hand over hand out. You should be able to learn how to angle park, where you're coming in parking at an angle. You need to know how to stall park, where you're pulling into a stall. This is either pulling in or backing in, just like you're backing into your driveway. And your driveway is a really good place to practice pulling in, covering your brake, going in slow, and then pulling out of the driveway, turning right. You're practicing 2-point and 3-point turnarounds. I have my students do a lot of those. Then you want to practice backing in, looking over your shoulder. If you're going into the right, you look over your right shoulder. If you're going to your left, you look over your left shoulder. You have to know how to reverse into a driveway and then back out into the street. After you master some of those maneuvers, I highly suggest you go into your neighborhood. Typically, I do with my students 12 to 10 right-hand turns where we're coming up to the corner, we stop, we look left, we look right, then they accelerate smoothly into the turn, and then they turn out. And then we practice making left-hand turns. You have to pass your driving test. So once you master your neighborhood, next is pulling out into traffic. I suggest you go out on the weekends, mid-morning, early afternoon, so you don't have a lot of rush hour traffic. You should be able to come up to the end to the stop line, move forward. It's called showing the car. You want to look left, right, and left. Then after you do that, you should be able to make that turn and get right up to speed smoothly and easily. Now, left-hand turns are very tricky. Left-hand turns are some of the most dangerous turns. You need to practice merging in properly when the line is broken. When you're making a left turn, there's a striped area. Don't cross the candy cane. I call it a candy cane. But you want to cross, you want to cut in when the candy cane is no longer there. You'll merge in and you'll be about 25 to 50 feet from the stop line. You want to stop just before the stop line. You might have a blinking arrow. This is a protected left-hand turn. You can, if you are over 21, but I would have someone with you. I would have one of your friends with you, your uncle, your cousin. Have your support system with you because they can give you a second set of eyes because you think you might be doing good, but really you're making really wide turns or you're stopping too hard. You always need a second set of eyes to help you give you feedback. And that feedback is really important. Next, let's talk about general driving habits. Are you scanning? Are you looking left? Are you looking in the middle? Are you looking right? Are you having eye movement? Because that's what's going to save you if a kid runs out. Okay, we were going in a downtown area yesterday. 3 employees walked out in front of us. One guy right in front of the car, we barely saw him. The second person, about 5 feet from him. The third person, about 5 feet from them. So 3 employees left work and they walked out in front of us. Yes, they were jaywalking. Yes, we were in the downtown area. We were in the driver's air car, but we almost hit them. So you have to be careful. We were going very slow. Online practice tests are good. That can help you prepare. They have little illustrations. Any type of practice you can have, message me later. I'll send you a Kahoot link because I have some custom practice tests that I can send you. So just message me. I'll send you the link when I get home, and then you can have a review. Any type of review you can do, whether it's online, I got you. You know I will. Anytime you can do a review that's online, a study guide to prepare you, because you're going to have road signs. You're going to have, speaking of road signs, four-way stops. You have to stop completely. The first car to get there is the first car to leave. Okay? If two cars come together at the same time, the car on the right, you can also give the right of way to someone. So that's really important that you understand the rules of the right of way. A lot of beginner drivers, people who are going for a re-eval, are very nervous and they blow a stop sign. And then you fail and you have to wait another month to come in. You have to practice. If you don't get out and practice merging on an expressway, what are the examiners looking for? They want to see you turn on that blinker halfway down the ramp. They want to see you look over your shoulder, check your blind spot. You got to know the road signs. They want to see you merge down, accelerate up to speed, then merge out. Your merges should be very seamless. They shouldn't be a stress or a strain. And you should merge and get right up to 55, 60, or 70, whatever the speed is. And your road tester is going to get you on and get you off at the next exit. If you're a beginner, I would practice 5, 6 merges. Short ramps where you got to get up to speed real quick. Long ramps where you got to go slow, halfway down, then you pick up speed. Clover leaves. Clover leaves are those long curved ramps where you have those chevron alignment signs. I would practice going on those. And at the bottom, then you accelerate. If you wait too long to accelerate, you're not going to have enough speed. And if you don't have enough speed, you could possibly have to abort your merge. And I've been with some students and adults who panic and lift their foot. That's one of the most scariest things that drivers, instructors, and road testers go through. So you want to practice your merging. Next, you want to practice making lane changes. You want to check your center mirror, blinker, turn signal. You look over your shoulder. Always check, excuse me, always check your blind spots. I have a blind spot here and a blind spot here. If I was driving, I just have my center mirror. So you have to do those verification checks. You want to start building good habits before you get to your test. This is when you're first getting your permit. You're driving with your mom or dad or your uncle or auntie. Have those good fundamentals so you learn to do it the right way. Don't wait until you're taking your test to say, I don't know how to parallel park. I don't know how to merge on an expressway, because your road tester's just going to sit here and they're going to mark, does the driver know how to merge? Yes or no. They're really not going to listen to, well, I'm not sure what to do, right? All road testers are kind and they want you to pass. Excuse me, they're kind and they want you to pass. What I need you to do is effectively over prepare for your test. Over prepare when you're trying to learn how to drive. You have to take each situation differently. If you go around your block 10 different times, you're going to have 10 different situations. You're going to have little kids. Then you're going to have a senior citizen. Then you're going to have a teenager driving fast. Then you're going to have someone driving real slow. Then you're going to have a UPS man. You understand what I'm saying? If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. Preparation is really important. And you have to show your parents and convince your parents or caregivers, because a lot of us don't live with our parents anymore because of COVID. A lot of things have happened. You have to get practice. Roundabouts. You will be going on roundabouts. I made a couple of videos on that. You might have to look them up. Roundabouts, you've got to yield before you get in. You've got to look left and right. What I notice is a lot of beginning drivers go into the roundabout too fast. And if you go in too fast, you're going to hit the curb. That's automatic failure. And it's very stressful because I see students driving, I see them tensing up, and then I'm saying you got to go in slower. You got to be usually about 15 miles an hour. You have to yield to traffic already in the roundabout. And remember, when you're learning, you have to have someone who's supportive, who's not going to criticize you, who's not going to yell. Good parents, good teachers have a sense of humor. They help you when you make mistakes. You will make mistakes. They show you what you do wrong. If you have a parent or a guardian or your instructor yelling at you, you want to take your time. You want to be patient. What's going to be on the written test? You're going to have some basic knowledge questions about road signs relative to your area. You're going to have questions about the right of way. You're going to have questions about merging on a ramp to the expressway. You're going to have questions about lane changing. These are some general questions. I do have some test material, older test material that I could make into some questions or a study guide or maybe an online session. You let me know what you need and I can put those things together to really prep you and prepare you. You need to use me as a resource, right? You need to say, hey, what do you have? How can we get this going? Because I'm here to help you. I want you to be successful. And you have to put in your work before, and then you want all of it. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got all of it for you. Your turns, you want to turn into the nearest lane. Remember, I'm a state certified instructor. Your parents, they're going to say, hold the wheel. I'm going to show you how to hold the wheel. I'm going to show you how to slow down. And I'm going to show you how to look left, how to look right, do your verifications, and then turn into the nearest lane. If you're not practicing turns correctly, you're going to turn wide. And if you learn how to turn wide, in your mind, it's okay. But in the road tester's mind, or your parents' mind, or your cousin's mind, you are scaring them. Facts. And then they don't want to drive with you anymore. In my situation, I drive a lot of beginners and I teach them what to do. Night driving is a little stressful, a little tense. It's hard to see. You have to learn how to drive. Downtown driving is a different vibe. People come out between cars. People don't stop. You have pedestrians by bars who are under the influence. They'll walk out in front of you. You have people racing around trying to find a parking spot, right? Hey, how are you? So it's really important that you learn the right way to park, to steer, to be able to reverse parallel park, to pull into a stall in park, to angle park. Okay, and then of course don't forget to pay the meter, because if you don't pay the meter, you're going to get a ticket. That's how a lot of downtown areas get their revenue, because people like you and I don't pay. Like 21, I still have a lot, but no, you're not going to give up. I'm giving you the plan. You're going to contact the DMV. You can go online. You can call. Hey, I'm 21. What do I need to do? Well, you need to come down. You need to bring $21 or $19 or $24. You have to take a test. Do you have a study guide? They might have a study guide. They might have a study guide online. You've got to pass that test, right? You got to keep trying. You really, really do. So you got to pass that test. And I had a young lady, it took her 4 times, and she was going to college. So I try to help everyone because you guys have helped me so much. So when you give, you receive. Also, once you pass that test, you got to find someone with a car who's willing to drive you. If you have an older brother or sister, a cousin, an auntie, an uncle. Hey, uncle, how you doing? Can you come over Friday? Oh, I'm here for you. Can you come over Friday? And I need to drive. And they'll let you drive around the neighborhood, making right turns, making left turns. Practice going to a downtown area. That's really good, but you got to get to the downtown area. I'm not talking about downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, Manhattan. Those are super big metropolis. You want to go to a really small area, practice stall parking, where you're pulling into a stall, not hitting the cement block. I have a video on that. You want to practice parallel parking. You're pulling next to a car, you reverse back and cut the wheels to the right. You've got to practice that. You can't just do it once. 8 to 10 to 12 times. You've got to know you should be able to parallel park within 5 turns of the steering wheel. Parking is an essential that a lot of people don't know how to do. And if you can't park, you won't pass your test. Okay, the knowledge test, that's the first hurdle. You got to pass the knowledge test. I have some practice stuff. Then you've got to pass the driving portion. Then you got to get a car. So those things are a lot of barriers to entry, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. Then after you pass, then you're going to start thinking about, I got to get some support. I've got to get a reasonable car. You've got to get some insurance. So getting that license is the first step. You just got to plan step by step. So having good speed control is essential. If you go over the speed limit, automatic failure. If you drive too slow, I had a client, she was driving too slow. She had a restricted license. And then I'll get her on, we'll talk, we'll go live. And I really want you to meet these people so they can share their story. Everyone's a little bit different, but I'm going to give you that pathway to help you get your license. If you're 18, 19, 20, 25, that's the pathway. And I'm here to help you. And people do care. I care. And I just want to say thank you. Subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up. Bye, guys.